Hello there, what's going on? Welcome back to the Agostino Zinga Show with your host, Agostino Zinga. What's happening? What's going on? How you doing? How you feeling? Are you fine? Are you good? Are you okay? Wherever you may be. Hope you are. Hope you're good. Hope you're fine. Hope you're okay. As you can see by the look on my face, if you're not watching this via the video format on YouTube, what are you doing right now? Make sure you check out youtube.com/@Tazs. That's @Tazs to see me in full 1080p 4K quality. Probably not, it's most likely 720p, maybe 480p, depending on what camera I'm bloody using. At the moment I'm using a Logi webcam thingy majiggy that isn't the greatest quality, and my computer isn't the fastest, so it's not the crispest of quality. But if you are seeing me via the video format, you will see that my face is shining. I'm glistening, I'm well hydrated, skincare just got looked after, and I'm recording a podcast for you lovely people just before I head off to bed, and then up in the morning again for a nice gym session, and again continue on with my day. So I hope you are doing the same. Hope you've got loads of nice things planned, and you're gonna have a great rest of the week. All right, a great rest of the week. So what's been happening in my life lately? Well, something very distressing has happened. Something very sad and distressing has happened, and I need to address this on this particular podcast because I am the #1 cultural commentary podcast in the world, right? There is no one near me, no one close to me. I am numero uno, especially when it comes to the UK, especially when it comes to London. So I have to talk about the news that has sent shockwaves across London, has made a certain breed of black boy who likes their snow bunnies. It's made a certain type of black woman who likes a certain type of, racially ambiguous individuals. It's made startup founders worried. It's made HR girls sweaty under their pits, and it's generally caused a disturbance across the London sphere. And it's this particular news, courtesy of the Hackney Gazette, regarding Boxpark Shoreditch. Boxpark Shoreditch is due to close at the end of summer. Can you believe that? One of the premier spots to hang out in, to pick up some slaws, finger bang some hoes, eat some shitty food, chow down some fried chicken, watch England play, scream and shout at your fucking mates, have a quote-unquote meeting at your startup. This essential place in London is now closing down at the end of summer. How sad. Boxpark Shoreditch was honestly a peak destination place, and somewhere that I spent a lot of my time, especially when I used to work in that particular area of East London, or EC London, East Central London. When I used to work in particular startups, whether they were in Old Street at that Silicon Roundabout thing. I'm not sure if it's even called Silicon Roundabout, but that's what it used to be called. That whole area next to that coffee shop around that roundabout where Old Street is and where Argos is. If you know, you know. So that whole entire place, there was, that was kind of where you went to go and, maybe hang out, drink some beers, eat some food, maybe buy some garms, maybe go to an activation, maybe go to another activation that had free beer, or whatever it may be. Like, it was an actual bit of a spot, an actual place to hang out. But I found that since I've stopped working there in that area, and since most of my work has been relegated to working on a laptop from home, and since I don't usually go out for the most part, I don't necessarily tend to go out of my way to go to Boxpark. I'm not going to lie. The only times I've ever considered going to Boxpark is when I've seen events like Recess, but they do those in like Croydon, Wimbledon, and a few other places. But any type of black focused party, maybe I've considered going to Boxpark, but I've never in the last few years ever considered crossing my mind that I would actually go to Boxpark outside of the times when I was working in that area. So to me, it's not the biggest miss, but I know a few people who love that area, who love going there, who love sitting in these converted cargo containers in this almost open air Lego Imperium, right? Where all these young millennial types hang around, and Zoomers and shit, and exchange numbers and cute glances and cross their legs with their shitty hiking their shitty hiking Converses and shit. They're going to be distraught. They're really going to be distraught. But this is crazy news, especially when you consider the lack of options we have in London to go out. I saw a post recently on some Instagram page where this guy was obviously bragging and trying to show off more, but he was basically like, oh man, it's nothing to do if you're a millionaire and you're a Londoner. He said, oh man, I'm a millionaire, I'm a Londoner, I've got nothing to do, I'm bored. Everything is dead, there's no motives, no nothing. It's like, you're just trying to show off that you got money, but there's loads of stuff to do if you have money. If anything, London's one of those weird places where it's probably not the most spontaneous city in the world. That's why probably when I first started going Berlin, that's why I was so enamored with that city, and that's why I was so gassed when I went there and I wouldn't stop talking about it. And when I went to Primavera, went to Barcelona for the first time, I was the same way. When I went to Madrid for the first time, I was the same way. Even when I went to Paris for like the third or fourth time in Fashion Week, I was the same way, because I think other cities in Europe have way more spontaneity, whereas you can kind of like fall into motives. You can be at a coffee store, someone could compliment your shoes because they're nice and they're not stush like people in London are. They could give you a compliment on your jacket. They might mention something about your hair, about your hat, and then suddenly you're talking to another group of people. You get brought into another group of people. You meet them outside at some art gallery thing. They take you to some other bar, and then suddenly you're at some rave somewhere, and then suddenly you're smashing some 8-year-old person in their bedroom somewhere. You know what I mean? It could go that quickly. But I feel like in London, unless you have money, you can't be in certain places. Unless you have connections, you can't be in certain places. Unless you have a ticket, right? You don't go in anywhere. You don't go anywhere. There's no going for you, no spontaneity. So some of these spots like Boxpark, although they're very commercial, although they're not the best places to hang out, at least it's something. It's in a somewhat open air environment. It's in one of the best places to be in London if you want to go out, because it's kind of in the center. So if you do run, if you're there from like open till close, I forgot what time it actually closes. Maybe it's like 9 p.m. I don't know what time it actually closes with the bars and the restaurants in there. But if you're there until, let's say, 6 p.m, you're right in the center, and you've got you can go anywhere you want, south, north, west, whatever it may be. So it's a great location for that. And in general, even in the surrounding areas, there's loads of great places to go and hang out and have some funs late at night. But that's usually a good meeting point to chill at. And I think that whole entire area anyway, from Brick Lane to Shoreditch to back to kind of maybe Bethnal Green, Cambridge Heath High roadways, all the way up until like Dalston-y type of area, all that whole area has been transformed partially because of Boxpark. So this commercial quasi independent thing that was going on there kind of rejuvenated that area. I'm not gonna lie, because the rest of it is kind of shit. Like that whole Liverpool Street strip is terrible. Shoreditch has basically died. Most of the bars and pubs there aren't really popping as much as they once were, which is a real shame, by the way. Shoreditch High Street used to be so much fun. Used to be a place to really go. Like I remember when I was going out in East a lot, I would start my nights out. I would literally start my nights at Liverpool Street Station. I'd maybe go to the Spoons outside Liverpool Street Station or the bars around there, and literally walk all the way up, going from bar to bar, just walking all the way up, hitting Boxpark, going up to fucking, I don't know, whatever bar that's in before the junction that you get to go to Dawson, and then just continuing up all the way maybe until you get to fucking what's that place? It might be Stoke Newton or something. That's how far you'd go throughout your night. But nowadays, I don't think the Shoreditch Strip, there's many cool bars to go to anyway. There was I forgot what it was called. I think it was called the pattern cutting. Was it called the colouring book or something? I forgot what it was called. There was a bar in Shoreditch that was actually pretty decent. Maybe it was called the Print Factory or something. I forgot what the name of it was. But it was quite a nice little bar, but it also had a basement club area. But that ended up closing. So there's not many spaces to go and just chill and hang. So Boxpark was a vibe. So it's a shame to hear it's closing, actually. I'm not going to lie. Even though I don't go there anymore, and even though it's probably something that I wouldn't see me dead at, to be completely honest, the people that do go are going to be absolutely distraught when they find out that this place is no more. Courtesy of the Hackney Gazette. It says, Boxpark is set to close in Shoreditch site at the end of summer and hopes to give its customers an unforgettable farewell. The East London venue, which Boxparks describe as the world's first pop-up mall, which is very true to be fair, will shut its doors after 12 years. It's been 12 years. Damn, bro. It feels like just yesterday I was in there, bro. You know what I mean? Like finger banging some random behind the stool somewhere, or trying to fucking grab a munch at Cook's Daily. By the way, Cook's Daily, I think Cook's Daily, that vegan restaurant might have been the spot, might have been the place that legitimately inspired a bunch of people, especially blacks in London, to go vegan. I swear to God, Cook's Daily was so good. Cook's Daily was the fucking spot. It was this Asian dude that would cook, like, you know, Asian versions of dishes, but then just cook them with vegan stuff. And it was so good. Again, maybe it wasn't the most healthiest. I'm sure, looking back, I'm sure if we investigate and we dig deep into some of these noodles or some of this vegan katsu curry shit that he was serving, I'm sure it wasn't the most healthy. But as a vegan alternative to get you into eating, you know, vegan options or whatever they may be, and doing away with having fucking fried food all the flipping time, this guy did a good job. He did a fucking good job. And allegedly he's got his own restaurant actually opened up somewhere. I think it's like on Hanbury Street actually, so it's not in Boxpark anymore. But I remember I used to absolutely devour the stuff at Cook's Daily. But it was so bussin', it was so popular, you'd had to order your food ahead of time on an app. I forgot if it was like on Uber or a website. No, I think it was a website. They had like a little website, and you would order your food ahead of time, and they'll have slots or quantities. I don't know how they did it, but essentially you had to order basically once you got in at work, and then get your thing already prepped, so that when you went there, you're just going to collect it. Because if you tried to roll up and order something, by the time you got there, everything was flipping ran out. So big up the guy that invented Cook's Daily. That guy's a fucking G, and legitimately changed my, you know, blew my mind palate wise, and introduced me to vegan cooking, and to the point where I was like, you know what, I could eat this on a daily, especially if I was being able to cook meals to this level. So big up Cook's Daily, big up Cook's Daily. Going back to the article, however, Boxpark is also gearing up to open 2 new locations in Camden and Liverpool Street, set to launch later this year. So some good and bad news for people like myself who hate Liverpool Street, who think all the finance guys and recruitment people that live and work around those areas, right, all the people with the fucking down vest things that they wear and shit, and the tucked in shirts and the weird haircuts and the fucking really tight trousers and the really tight suits, and the girls with the LV bags and the tight and the fucking loafers and the hair, right, always going to M&S with their fucking lunch bags, all that whole scene of people. I know some of you hate them, I hate them. It's going to be interesting to see the mix of like hipsters, scene kids, fashionistas and shit, wannabe influencers clashing with some of the finance bros and gals and recruitment boys and gals. It's going to be so funny if they do open up this space in Liverpool Street, because Liverpool Street is a very, you know, that's where all the finance and recruitment type of places are. It's a bit stuffy. I think there's a Duck and Waffle in Liverpool Street, isn't there? I think there's a Duck and Waffle, so that kind of shows you what type of vibe Liverpool Street is at. So all those Duck and Waffle man them and gal them, they're going to be clashing with the guys and girls who like to wear like bust up sambas and shit and baggy jeans with Timberlands and stuff. So it's going to be really funny to see those two worlds clashing and colliding on a night out. We might actually get some interesting things, because, you know, people accuse Boxpark of being the place where a lot of mixed race babies were born. A lot of interracial relationships were birthed from Boxpark. You know, people that would never ever meet blacks were meeting them all at fucking Boxpark, and blacks that would never ever meet certain white ladies were meeting them all at Boxpark. Especially if you're kind of clapped. If you're clapped as a black dude and you're not getting no love from, you know, other black women, usually a good place to go to kind of give yourself a little bit of confidence was to go to Boxpark and just start lipsing up any, you know, HR girl, receptionist girl for some shitty startup who would give you a bit of love because you were a little bit exciting. You had a bit of spice to your ice. You feel me? But now that's going to be gone. So I wonder what type of interracial relationships we're going to have with people that work in the finance area. It's going to be funny to see. Since its opening its doors in October 2011, the Shoreditch site has provided a platform for more than 250 independent businesses. Boxpark also said it's attracted more than 1.5 million visitors per year. Its closure comes after the landlords in Bishopgate, Scots Yard secured planning permission to redevelop the 4.5-acre site into a new residential, retail and leisure district. You know what it's going to end up looking like, right? It's just going to end up looking like every other horrible residential, retail, leisure district that exists in London. It's going to be just the mountainous, obscene, tall structures of glass and steel. That's what you're going to see. You're going to see crazy glass and steel. You're going to see Pret-a-Manger, you're gonna see Starbucks, you're gonna see some quasi-independent store there that really isn't independent, you're gonna see fake food trucks. Like, you know what it's gonna look like? It's gonna look fucking horrible, stale, bland, with lacking personality. And even Boxpark, even though Boxpark was kind of commercial, wasn't the most independent thing, at least it tried, at least it cosplayed as being a little bit rough and being a little bit DIY, right? Using the whole cargo container things as a place to kind of house all these independent businesses, having them all open up on the street, the way they design them, having places where you can go and watch games and stuff, and you know, cinemas and whatever there may be, and there's loads of different restaurants and bars to go and drink at and hangout spaces, and it was just a cool place to go and jam at. And now you're just gonna have a really sterile and dead leisure, residential and retail district that's just gonna take all the love, all the vavavoom away from Boxpark. Because the funny thing about Boxpark, across the road is Shoreditch House, isn't it? That's the interesting thing about Boxpark. So Boxpark was a good place to be because it was kind of like a good little primer. Sometimes if you were lucky, if you had the gift of the gab, if you were good with talking, if you were good with the riz, you could maybe, you know, get speaking to somebody at work at Shoreditch House and get yourself put on a list so you could actually go in there and have a good time after. When that place closed, you could go in there and have a good time even though it's a members only club and shit. So that contrast was actually pretty cool, to have Shoreditch House on one side of the road and have Boxpark on the other side of the road. Now you're just gonna have Shoreditch House and this sterile retail district place. Like, horrible. Also, imagine wanting to live there. And the weird thing about it, this is where gentrification is so lame. People will move to Shoreditch or move to this site where Boxpark is because they love Boxpark. They'll be, oh my god, I would love to live in this area. They'll move to the area, then they'll complain about the noise and get the clubs and the bars shut down, or get them to limit how high they can put the volume. It's like, bruh, you moved here because of this area. You moved here because of the vibes, because of the tunes, because of the fucking electricity, because of the nightlife, because of the scene. And now you want to limit the scene. You want to take it away. Like, why go on for this? I couldn't imagine, honestly, if I had that kind of money to buy a place in Shoreditch on that street, when I have that kind of money, not if, when, words are intention are words, the last place I'd live is fucking Shoreditch High Street. Like, miss me with that shit. But maybe it's just me. Boxpark was only a temporary occupier for the site during the last 12 years. Now it's reached the expiration date of its lease, works will immediately start for the site's redevelopment. Boxpark Chief Executive Simon Champion said that he'll return to Shoreditch as soon as we find a right opportunity, and that is already talking to stakeholders about a new offering for Shoreditch customers. He said, while our time at the current site at Shoreditch is coming to an end, we look forward to celebrating all that we have achieved at the venue over the last summer. In the remaining time we have left at Shoreditch, we will work as hard as possible to support our team with the transition and an aim to relocate our 30 plus tenants and their staff from the other sites while giving all the wonderful customers unforgettable farewell. That's pretty cool. They're basically going to relocate everybody that's still there at the moment. That's pretty nice of them, to be fair. I guess they want to remain, they want to keep that long-term relationship with people that have done well by them, right? They don't want to have retailers who are not selling garms and shit and aren't bringing people through to Boxpark. But the fact that they're keeping them on is pretty cool. I'm interested to see what they're going to do for their farewell raise, actually. That might be actually a good time to actually go back to Boxpark, give it a good send-off. I might actually have to go and put on my best fucking startup outfit on. I mean, figure out what people are wearing nowadays and go to the last rave. Boxpark claimed that the site was supported more than 270 jobs per year. Besides the new London sites, the company is also making steps to extend their reach outside the capital. Plans to debut in Bristol in 2025. Boxpark founder Roger Wade said Shoreditch Boxpark journey has been unforgettable. He said, we will close this chapter. My gratitude goes out to all the dedicated staff, local community for their unwavering support throughout the years. So yeah, big up Boxpark, man. Gone but never forgotten. Opening 2 sites, Liverpool Street and Camden, coming soon. But the iconic, the legendary Boxpark Shoreditch is no more. The legendary Boxpark Shoreditch is no more. All the black boys who like white women are crying into their Urban Outfitters outfits right now. They are crying. Literally tears are streaming down their face as they wipe it with their Urban Outfitters sweatshirts. It is with shame. It is a damn shame. Moving on, talking about shames. Have you guys seen this absolutely abhorrent and downright disgusting video that features the one and only Rick Ross getting his head absolutely rocked by an alleged Hell's Angel. Have you guys seen it? There's a Hell's Angel in Vancouver. I guess Rick Ross was performing somewhere in Vancouver and a Hell's Angel pulled up there, somehow associated with Drake, maybe not, maybe just a fan, and decided to remind Rick Ross that he was in enemy territory because Rick Ross DJ played the Kendrick Lamar track Not Like Us, and the fan, the fucking Drake fan, the Hell's Angel guy, wasn't too happy with that song being played in his city and decided to put the beats on Rick Ross and his team. It's a fascinating video. Let's play it. There's Rick Ross there. You can see Rick Ross, right? You see the rolls on his neck. You see the chain around his neck. That looks like a choker, but it's not. It's just he's really, really fat. You see him looking at somebody, staring him down, trying to act like he's not scared. To be fair, he is out there with all his jewelry on, to be fair, so maybe he wasn't all the way scared, but this is fantastic as it keeps going on. He's talking. He's saying words. There's a Hell's Angel guy with a man bun, right? He's got the side of his head shaved, completely bald. Think of G-Eazy from fucking UFC, and he's got a man bun, but he's got a very angry scowl on his face, directing all of his anger and his vitriol towards Rick Ross as he's staring him down also. They're still communicating, and to me, I'm not gonna lie, in this instance, if that was Rick Ross, I would have fired on this guy already, because he's sizing you up. He's looking at him like he's a lunch meat sandwich. This Hell's Angel guy is not he's not ramping. He's not just barking at him. He's sizing Rick Ross up. He's looking deep into his soul to figure out if this guy's really about it. Does he really live his raps? Is he gonna pull out a tool? Is he gonna get with it? If I was Rick Ross, I would have just fired on him, just in a pure fight or flight thing. Fuck it. But Rick Ross wasted too much time, didn't do it, and the guy obviously got his punch in before Rick Ross could ever figure out what was going on. Wanna bang you out? Boom! Hey, I love how the punch came right on the beat, kind of on the beat, at the A minor bit. Yo, that was a proper bang to the side of the face, you know. No reply. Boom. I start scrapping. Everyone's on top of each other. And the saddest thing about this, Rick Ross does that thing that people do when they pretend like they want to fight, but they don't want to fight. He kind of jumps in, but then kind of jumps out and doesn't really get involved. And the saddest thing about this whole thing, you know what the saddest thing is about this whole thing? The security guard gets packed out. The security guard gets the beats on him. He's literally dizzy. He's concussed. The security guard, who did nothing wrong, he didn't play the track, he did nothing wrong. He's not the one that was the aggressor and got in the face of the Hell's Angel dude. He wasn't the one barking. He was actually trying to calm everything that was going on. He got absolutely beaten into a concussion. I feel so bad for security guard with dreads. You'll see him in a minute. The really big security guard, he gets absolutely tucked in. Look at Rick Ross. Look at Rick Ross. Look at Rick Ross letting himself get held back. Letting himself get held back, or let himself get held back. He's standing behind somebody. He's doing the Scott McTominay. Rick Ross is doing the Scott McTominay. He's acting like he's in space. He's acting like he wants the ball, but he doesn't really want it. He's standing in like this weird no man's zone. That's what Rick Ross is doing. Rick Ross is doing the Scott McTominay right now. Look at the security. Look at security. Bang. Oh, look at security on the floor. Now look at the security. Look at the security. Look at security get beaten. Watch the security get beaten. Kicked in the head. Punched. Look at them. 3 people on the security guard. Where's Rick Ross? All 3 men. Look at all these 3 grown-ass men beating the crap out of the security guard while he's on one knee. One's the Hell's Angels kicking him in the head. White t-shirts punching him, uppercutting him in his forehead. Another one's punching the guy in the back. Where the fuck is Rick Ross? Where is Rick Ross in this picture? Why is a security guard getting tumped in like this? Where is Rick Ross? That's what I want to know. Where is he?
You're in our city, nigga. What the fuck's up?
That accent is so funny, hearing them say, "This is my city, nigga. What's up?" In that, I can't even say what the Canadian Vancouver accent is, but it's just funny to hear them screaming that while they have that accent. But you know, it's just proof that anywhere in the world, nothing is sweet. Just because these guys have that funny accent, just because they live where they live, you don't ever think it's gonna be sweet. It's never going to be sweet, especially when, you know, you live in a place where, because I can't think of many places in the world where motorcycle gangs are quite prominent and actually have a hold on like the underworld, like actually legitimately. Because a lot of motorcycle clubs are just, you know, they like to pretend like they're hard, but from what I've read and from what I remember reading and watching on random YouTube documentaries, was that the Hells Angels, especially in Canada, they're actually heavy. You know what I mean? They actually move pretty heavy. They're actually connected. They're actually, yeah, I know what you mean, Z. Big up Z in the stream. Yeah, they're all over the world. I know you mean they're all over the world, but in Canada, like, they're the guys, you know? Like, they're the guys. So for Drake to be connected with them slyly is really interesting to me, as I'm not going to lie. It's kind of cool. Because I think I remember seeing a picture of his garage. Doesn't he have some really cool Hells Angel bike? He's got a bike. Don't know what brand it is, but it was given to him by somebody from the Hells Angels. It's like a really cool one. I forgot what the look of it was. Maybe it was like baby blue or something, but regardless, like, it's pretty insane that Rick Ross would go to Vancouver without any protection, right? Without no protection, without no fucking protection, just on his own, playing that song with his DJ and think everything will be sweet. It's absolutely insane. But I feel so bad for security guard, man. Look at the security guard.
Nigga, what the fuck's up?
Just look at security guard. Look at him. He's staggering. Doesn't know where he is. Bless him, bro. Don't get me wrong. He's kind of big for nothing, right? Standard American security guard for a rapper. He's basically big for nothing. He can't fight. Doesn't look like he can run or jump. Doesn't look like he can punch. But, you know, it's the size that matters. But bless him, man. He looks so disoriented. He looks so flustered. He looks like he's in pain. He's probably looking for his client. His client's long gone. He probably already jumped in his private jet. He's nowhere to be found, Rick Ross.
What's up, dog? You're in our fucking city. What's up?
You're in our city. What's up? They're still going at him.
Every day I'm hustling.
Oh, there we go. There's Rick Ross there. The guy said, "Every day I'm hustling." And look, here Rick Ross in the background. Here Rick Ross in the background.
What's up?
Every day. Here Rick Ross in the background. The guy says, "Every day I'm hustling," and he goes, "Every day." Bro, your security guard just got tumped in and you're running away.
You're in our fucking city. What's up? What's up? Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. Every day I'm hustling. What's up, nigga?
Every day.
What's up in our fucking city, nigga? What's up?
Honestly, the security guard is a fucking G, by the way. He just got tucked in. He's probably concussed, doesn't even know what his birthday is, gets up and still goes to do his job. I hope he got paid. Hope he still got his invoice fucking paid. Security guard got absolutely tucked in, got up, dusted himself off. He's probably still dizzy, doesn't know where he is, doesn't know his bearings, and still he's standing in front of Rick Ross. There's Rick Ross there. Look at that body. How long has this guy been working out? Look at his fucking belly. How long has this guy been working out? Jumping rope, hitting pads in the gym. Like, look at him. Look at him. Look at that stature. Look at that shape. Oh, Rick Ross's boy tries to steal on the guy by throwing a bottle at his head, but he's not really with it, to be fair, because if you wanted to hit him with a bottle, you could have. I think he was worried about catching an M charge. If you want to hit someone with a bottle, you can hit them with a bottle. Right, you can even stab him with a bottle. Just, you know what I mean? It's not hard. But he didn't really want it. He didn't really want to hit him with a bottle. Kind of just swung wildly. Yeah, that wasn't good enough, man. If you went to hit him, you could have got him. That wasn't good enough, man. That wasn't good enough. See me again, nigga. What's that shit? Mech Mob. What the fuck is Mech Mob? I wonder what Mech Mob is. Oh, is that a DJ? Is that the DJ? I think that might be the DJ, right? No, that or the guy with the dreads, with the dread hat on. Oh my god, here we go. Here we go. Look at this guy get punched up. Smash. And again, everyone's getting beaten up again, including the security guard and these two new guys. But where's Rick Ross? This is part 2 of the fight. People are getting beaten up against the fucking wall, against the side of the barriers and shit. But Rick Ross is nowhere to be found. Boom. Security guard gets punched again. Honestly, I feel so bad for these people, man. I feel so bad for them. Big up Assad. Big up Assad. What's Assad saying? Actually, this might come through because I think my TTS is still on. So bear with me, Assad. It might actually come through. Bear with me a second here, Assad, before it actually comes through. And then we can do the ting. But big up Assad. Big up Assad. And actually, let me load up the other video, actually. Let me load up the other, because the other one's really good as well. The other one's actually just as good as this one. The part 2 of this fucking beef is absolutely hilarious. So that's part 1 of the beef. Still no Rick Ross. He's nowhere to be found. He's just letting everybody else kind of handle his beef. And then the other part is really, really sad because somebody looks like they get slayed on the floor. Yeah, big up Assad.
The Canadians found the one guy they could press. A fake drug dealer who's obese. The Canucks picking and choosing Lamau.
The Canucks picking and choosing. Yeah, exactly. But it's a good thing. But you know what? I find it hilarious, and why I find it a good thing, Assad and everybody else. Big up Assad Aziz. Rick Ross was never involved in this beef. He got himself involved. This was never Rick Ross's beef. This was between Kendrick and Drake. If anything, The Weeknd and maybe Future had more of a point to get involved in this beef, and maybe even Travis, and maybe even Ye, than fucking Rick Ross. Rick Ross had no business being involved in the beef. He inserted himself in it, and now he's getting packed out. This is actually a good lesson. He's getting punched in the face with no reply, and he's getting his whole crew absolutely stampeded and, you know, and kicked about on the floor in Vancouver and shit because he tried to insert himself in a beef that had nothing to do with him. If you remember correctly, it had nothing to do with him. The beef had absolutely zero to do with fucking Rick Ross. But he wanted to get involved. He felt like he was part of the whole thing that was happening and shit. Now look what's happening. Now your whole crew is getting their fucking asses handed to them in fucking Vancouver of all places. Come on, brother. A place that you would least expect out of a place where you're getting pressed. And not even by Drake's people, allegedly. These aren't even people that are allegedly connected to Drake. They're kind of like associates maybe, or friends, or just fans, let's say. They're just fans who just think, nah, fuck Rick Ross. How dare you play this song? And they just want to beat him up. Imagine, it's not even Drake's actual crew. Could you imagine how embarrassing that is? It's not actually Drake's crew. It's just some fans who just fucking hate the fact that, you know, he's trying to insert himself in the beef. And like, nah. We're not playing with that. We're not having you come to our fucking city and play on our head top with our goat. This is our guy. You know what I mean? You're not doing this. You're not going to do this. Not here. Not in our city. Especially when they don't even respect his gangster or whatever it may be, right? But the second video is probably worse. So big up Assad Aziz, right? But the second video is probably worse. The second video is legitimately worse. Legitimately worse, because you see somebody get splayed on the floor. Somebody gets splayed on the entire floor. That's the sad part about this video. Part 2 of everyone else. Again, everyone else fighting. Everyone else is kung fu fighting except for fucking Rick Ross. He's nowhere to be found once again.
Fuck my watch.
Chill.
Shut up, girl. Look at the guy on the floor. There's a guy on the floor. There's a guy on the floor. His Jordans facing up. Like, you can see the soles of his... Anytime someone can see the soles of your trainers, you probably lost a fight. If your shoe falls off, you probably lost a fight. If you're busted, you probably lost a fight. If you can't close your eye, you probably lost your fight. If your jaw hurts, you probably lost a fight. This guy is... his whole soul of his shoe is facing us, and Rick Ross is nowhere to be found. Fucking hell, man.
Come on,
He's just out cold, whoever that guy is, out cold. Look at that, lifeless. Somebody get him to the car, yo. He's gonna die though. What? He's gonna die? Where's Rick? He's getting carried. Oh my god. You just want to hang out with Rose. You want to be his weed roller and shit. You want to have a good time, have some Belvedere, get some slags to come back to the hotel, smoke some joints, hang out, have a good time. And now you're being carried back to the car unconscious. You're being carried back to the Maybach like a baby. Honestly, this is so unfair, man. This is so unfair. I feel so bad for this guy. Fucking hell, man. Fucking hell. Absolute disgrace. And Rick Ross is still nowhere to be found. And Rick Ross, for some reason, decided that it was a good idea. After everything that happened, he posted, I think, a picture of himself in a private jet, looking all spanky. And then the recent picture that he posted is this picture, courtesy, I think, of the academics on his Instagram account. He's somewhere smoking a joint with a money phone. And I don't know about you guys, but when did losing a fight not be embarrassing? Like, when did it not become embarrassing to get, even if you're like a global rap star, you're a multi-millionaire, when did it become okay to get beaten up? When did it become okay to get punched in the face and not reply? And then jump on Instagram and start showing off your money, like that's a cope, that's okay. I don't know about you guys, but if you've ever lost a fight, and I've lost many of fights across my number of years on this fucking spinning globe, hurtling through space. And I don't know about you guys, but if you've lost a fight, especially if you've lost it in embarrassing circumstances, that shit never leaves you. I think you can ask most real men who've lost fights. They could probably describe to you in great detail a fight that they lost when they're in primary school. They could describe to you a fight they lost when they're in secondary school, a fight they lost when they're in church, a fight they lost at their first job, a fight they lost at football. They can describe in detail fights. And it doesn't leave you until maybe many years into your old age and shit. So the fact that there are some guys out there who lose fights in the way that Rick Ross did, in such an embarrassing fashion, gets his whole crew beaten up, and then you jump on Instagram and start flashing your money, start flaunting your private jet, as if that kind of like, you know, makes it okay that you got beaten up. I don't understand that. I really don't understand that. Because if that's me, and that happens, the first thing I want to do is get in the gym. Maybe I want to show a video of myself hitting the pads. Maybe I want to show my video of myself, you know, doing the fucking double leg like Brendan Schaub or something. But the last thing I'm going to be doing is posting a picture of myself with money and a private jet. What's that going to do? That clearly didn't help me when I was getting my face punched by a biker in Vancouver. It didn't help me. That didn't help my crew when they were getting kicked in the face by random Drake fans at a fucking concert that I was performing at. And there also needs to be something to be said for the fact that Rick Ross is performing in spaces like this anyway. Is this maybe proof that he's not as big of a deal as we think he is? The fact that Rick Ross is performing in places where he's so accessible to people in this fashion. What type of venue is this anyway? Rick Ross is meant to be a big star, right? Why is he performing in venues where as soon as he gets off the stage, he has randoms surrounding him? There is no like separation between like the general public and the backstage area where he's meant to be with his crew and shit. What type of venue is this? What type of festival is this? Is this like a budget thing that he's performing at for a couple of dollars and shit? Maybe he's not as rich and wealthy as he seems to be. But I don't know about you, but losing a fight should always be embarrassing, especially if you're Rick Ross, because in this particular circumstances, he got himself involved in the beef that had nothing to do with him. Drake and Kendrick are the ones that are beefing and warring. If this happened between Drake, and Kendrick Lamar's camp, this would make all the sense. But imagine Rick Ross getting beaten up because he decided to stick his nose in and try and have a problem with Drake just because he wanted to like get some motion going for him as well. And everybody forgot about his record. I haven't played it or listened to it since it dropped. I don't give a fuck. If anything, it's kind of tainted a little bit of his, standing with me, because I was always a big Rick Ross fan. But when I saw him essentially clout chasing the beef, I was like, ugh. What are you doing, bro? This has nothing to do with you. Why are you getting involved? Especially considering they've got a decent musical relationship anyway. It's like, what's this guy doing? Are you all right, mate? You're never gonna have another number one again on your own without fucking Drizzy helping you out. What the fuck are you doing? Honestly, man, what an embarrassing situation all around. Absolutely, utterly embarrassing. But I feel mostly sorry for the crew. I feel mostly sorry for the crew of people who were holding it down, and then Rick Ross completely abandoned them. But again, typical, not to be surprised when it comes to these type of people. I'm not bloody surprised. I'm not bloody surprised. Moving on, and talking about surprises. We need to talk about the Stone Techno Festival. Stone Techno Festival in Essen in Germany is taking place this weekend, I think, on the 12th, right? I think it's this weekend. So if you're going, I'm super jealous for those of you who are going to Stone Techno Festival, not this weekend, next weekend in Essen, Germany. I am so jealous of you guys that are going. If you're going there, please have fun for me, enjoy it, have a fucking blast, because that festival looks like an absolute banger. And they've actually dropped the lineup of who's playing, and god damn it, the lineup looks fucking crazy. So this is courtesy of their Instagram account, The Third Room. It says, we're thrilled to finally share the running order for all 3 days of the Stone Techno Festival 2024 at the UNESCO World Heritage Zollverein, however you say that word. We carefully considered the arrangement of the individual schedules and respective floors, focusing on musically curated stages and the unison concept to give you the full T3R experience. Which artists are your must see? The festival is selling out fast and will definitely be sold out in advance. To avoid regrets, get a ticket now before they're all gone. Link in bio. And they've got an entire lineup here for you to see. The lineup is fucking great. So to start off with, we've got Arthur Robert, we've got Bestie Hera playing, Ellen Alien, Freddie K back to back with the Lady Machine. That's going to be hard. I'm a big Freddie K critique and doubter, to be honest. I still haven't seen or felt the power of Freddie K performing live in certain venues. I need to go see him play all night at Forward, I think on July 20th. I'm really looking forward to that. That should be a fun one. But I'm still to be convinced about Freddie K. But I love the Lady Machine. So I'm assuming their styles would actually go well together. So that's a very good back-to-back combination there. At this other stage, you got Rosati playing, someone called Sandrine, Fireground Live, Stranger, and Ski Mask. Big up Ski Mask. New album just dropped from him actually recently. I need to listen to it. I think it's on Bandcamp. I don't think it's on Apple Music last time I checked. I don't think it's on Apple Music. I think it's a Bandcamp exclusive thing. But Ski Mask did actually drop a new album recently on EP. Yeah, it's not out yet. It's not. Oh, no, it is out. Or is that Resort? Or is that something else? Maybe it is out. Maybe it's the one I'm just seeing now, Resort. Maybe I'm fucking dumb. Yeah, maybe it's Resort. There's a new album that just dropped on the 12th, actually, called Resort. So maybe I got to check that out, actually. So big up Ski Mask. Then on another stage, we got Polognia playing. We got Nadia, how do you say that name? Nadia Struwig. We got Blawan returning. That should be fucking sick. And we've also got DVS1 playing. Absolutely mental. So Blawan and DVS1 following each other. Great fucking lineup. We got somebody called Aino playing back to back with Philo. DJ Aya back to back with THC. Sedef Adsi, who I'm a big fan of. And Hobbsy. That would be also awesome. On the Saturday, you've got who you got here? Vril, I'm a big fan of. Klar back to back with Dax J, that'll be fucking sick. SPF DJ is usually good in these type of settings. You got Blasher and Alat playing, Grace Dahl playing. You got Yanamaste that's playing, that'll be nice to see. Ben Sims, big up Ben Sims, UK family. DJ Nobu. Yo, Stone Techno Festival is looking fucking incredible. God damn. More Alien. Dr. Rubenstein back to back with Roy Perez. Ooh. Those of you who are going, you're so fucking lucky. This is such a good lineup. Young Marco, Berlin Track Servant, Berlin Track Servant back to back with Narcissus. I'm not sure who I'm not too sure who Berlin Track Servant is, but Narcissus I'm a big fan of. And then on the last day, you got Hasvat Informant back to back with Less Distress, Lachi playing Benjamin Damage. Anetha back to back with Vel, YB, Yazus, Hyperactivist. I'm a big fan of D Dan back to back with DJ Tool. That should be fucking great. Oh, the lineup is absolutely great. Oscar Mulero playing, absolute legend. Philippa Pasha playing, legend. Ila Kula playing. Estrella Borisma. I think she's actually got a set that came out recently on Boiler Room that you should actually check out. So that should be fucking cool. So I'm really fucking looking forward to seeing all these people playing. As you can see in the comments, everybody else is looking forward to it. Big up my guy, lifestyle.techno. I can't wait. Well, whose genius idea was it? Was Client Agile at the same time, not to mention the other clashes, blah, blah, blah. So essentially I've heard good things about Stone Techno Festival, to be completely honest. The only bad thing I've heard about it is that the arrangement and the sound can be a little bit shitty. I think last time as well they had like a flash flood. I think last year there was some flooding that happened that people weren't too happy about, but I think apart from that, it's always got rave reviews and people have always kind of spoken really glowingly about it. So I think it's one of the good ones out there. I really do think it's one of the good ones. But there is actually a video here I want to play of an after movie from 2023 that kind of features some of the people that will be playing. Oh no, this just gives you an idea on the vibe and Wagwan over there. That would be a good thing to play, to see Wagwan and see what the vibe is and kind of get myself excited for it, even though I'm fucking not going, because like, I'm absolutely gutted I'm not going, to be completely honest. And that's one of the worst things about, you know, having a podcast and talking about these type of things. You end up checking out festivals and shit, and even though I'm not on Instagram anymore, you still end up getting FOMO because you're checking all these things out and, you know, reporting on the fucking announcements of the lineups and who's playing and timetables and all that malarkey. So it is what it is, I guess. But this is an after movie of Stone Techno Festival from last year to give you an idea of the vibe and the atmosphere over there.
There's nothing better in Germany, I would even say in Europe. So I'm here for the second time. And
hey, man like Patrick Mason. Wagwan Patrick. Wagwan the diva. Patrick the diva, the big dog.
It is even better than last year, and I'm excited to play later on the closing.
Honestly, also the crowd is the best crowd that I see in the festival. Also for the
hey, Freddie K, there he is, the man, the myth, the legend.
For the dimension of the festival.
I thought the crowd were really responsive. They were really vibing on the dance floor and giving me a lot of energy. I felt like I was right there with them.
Because you're there, because you are right there with them. They're right behind you.
Everything is more human. It's not these huge things. You can feel that it's a techno festival. It's in Germany, so very open-minded, the people.
It really is like the type of thing that I'll remember until the day I die.
Yeah, big up Narcissus. Oh, I'm glad I saw an older person there. I saw an older lady there. I'm glad I saw that. I'm not too sure if that's an accurate representation of Stone Techno Music Festival, because I feel like it's mostly filled with like millennials and Gen Zs and shit. But I did see an older lady there. I honestly think festivals benefit a lot by having a more broader range of people going, especially ages. I think club nights are different, but I think festivals really benefit from having different age ranges going. They kind of add to the overall vibe. I think when it's just full of people the same age as you, it kind of just makes it like any other club. It doesn't really make it special. It doesn't, like all the interactions that you like to have randomly at festivals, bumping into like people at the toilet, at the bar, where you go get your food, whatever, on the way there. It's made more richer when you have a bit more of a range in terms of ages. But I don't know why it seems like the older folks don't really tend to go to, you know, techno music festivals anymore like they did in the past. Maybe people have moved on, or they decided to, you know, swap fucking dance music festivals for actual festivals with bands playing. Because again, if you're older, why would you go to a fucking techno festival? You'd rather maybe go to Glastonbury and actually hear actual real musicians playing on the stage and shit, as opposed to some person DJing and some kid doing fucking massive slug rails of fucking ketamine off their phone. It, you know, it's probably more sophisticated to go see a band. But I would rather like to see more. I would actually prefer to see more of a range in terms of the people that go to music festivals. But you know, maybe that's something that can happen in the future.
What I expect was a normal stage, like a stage.
Big up NJ Ranger in the chat. Loads of, was that lots of Euro style babes? When you mean Euro style babes, do you mean like uglies? Do you mean like a quiet taste? Because I don't know, I don't go to these things. Some people are different, but I've never gone, even though, you know, I'm a married man with a family, you know, I have a wife and a husband and several kids. But being a married man with a family, I honestly have never ever gone, even when I was a single man without a family, without a dog and a pet and loads of kids, I never went to a dance music event trying to hook up. It's really strange. Maybe something might have happened 1 or 2 times, but I never went with the intention of trying to get numbers or whatever. It's always for the music, always for the vibes. And to be really honest, to be actually honest, and to really sound GAY, I went to those events mostly for the mandem, to find quote unquote friends, to a community, people to kind of, you know, swap tunes with and recommend sets with and shit. And, you know, to the point where I'd go to these things and be a loser. This is how much of a loser I was back in the day. Now I'm not really trying to seek approval, or I'm not trying to be such a people pleaser now anymore. But back in the day, I'd legitimately buy menthol cigarettes just so I could stand in a smoking area and get chatting to fucking strangers and maybe add them on Instagram and see if we could be friends and shit. So it was never really about the gals, unfortunately, for me. So I missed out on all that. Big up Kyle Coilo's on the chat. Wagwan.
Stage and the crowd and everything, and then I come here and people all around me.
The stage was in the middle of the dance floor.
Rodhard.
It was
Big
really
up Rodhard.
cool, surrounded by the people and in the sweet spot of the sound system.
I love this configuration because you can really fully connect with the crowd.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's perfect.
Yeah, it's really,
I really enjoyed it.
It was really intimate and really cool people from all over the world, let's say. There was like people from France, from Italy, Poland, Holland, and all around. Yeah, it was nice.
All around the world. He names only European countries and only white people. You gotta love fucking Marcel Dietman. I have friends from all around the world: Italy, Germany, Spain, Ukraine, Russia, all around the world.
When I started playing, the people were there like really into it, and then the intense, it was more intense and intense every time.
It's super cool to connect with.
Every single person's wearing black in this video, innit? Not a single person's wearing color. Everyone's wearing fucking black. That's one of the only things. This is a slight pushback when it comes to my dance music people, right? I go to a lot of parties. I go to a lot of things. But something that always grew up I used to hate, and it's something that I've hated since I was young. When I first got into hardcore, when I first got into punk and shit, listening to it when I was a kid, listening to metal, one of the things I used to hate when I used to go to like the Camden Underworld venue and see bands play and shit, right? Or maybe see Nile play for the first time and all this malarkey, right? One of the things I used to hate was when I used to roll up and you could tell from when you left the station who was going to that venue to go and see a band play, because they'd have the standard garb on it you'd see any metalhead wearing. And I feel it was really lame to look like a metalhead, because it's almost similar to like looking like you like hip-hop. Like what? Big baggy trousers and fat laces on your shoes and a hoodie and a rope chain. It's just as lame and as corny to be wearing an attire so people know that you're into a certain type of music. So whenever I go to like techno events and shit, I used to hate seeing people in like harnesses and bondage and PVCs and chokers and shit, and just all this like weird cyberpunk fucking aesthetic going on just because they think that's what techno is about. And it's like, bro, why don't you just wear a red jumper? Why don't you wear like a yellow t-shirt? Why is everybody wearing black? Why is everyone looking so sad? Why is everyone dancing the same way? Where's the individuality? God damn it.
Crowd in like such a historic.
That's what I'm thinking. Actually, I might actually go to the next few parties. Maybe if you see me in Fold, I might actually wear the same thing that Ye has been wearing recently. I might go like a Ye. I might go like Ye. I might go all white. I might turn up to Fold in the next few days at an Unfold and maybe at the fucking next Freddie K event, just wearing all white, just to kind of break the monotony of the black. And I might be the only person in the queue. I might be the blackest guy in the queue wearing all white. That's almost symbolic. There's almost like a symbolism. There's almost some sort of like deeper meaning to me being in a very white queue, wearing all white, but being the blackest man alive. That's very important to cut through the noise, because everybody in this video legitimately looks the same.
Play super open-minded. I felt like we could really.
The venue itself is fucking crazy though. The venue allegedly it's an old it's a mining plant, all right? It's a mining power plant or something. Heritage site. It looks fucking incredible. It's a type of venue, location-wise, that would definitely get redeveloped into horrible modern apartments and shitty glass and steel buildings, right? And really corny cafes. That's what it'd get converted to. But in other places in Europe, they maintain and preserve these sites and transform them into these open-air places where people can do festivals. But in London, this would get all leveled and they'd build fucking horrible apartments that no one can afford.
Like go wherever I wanted to go when I was playing.
It was
really unbelievable experience. Surrounded by this beautiful crowd in this industrial environment. It was just the day to remember.
Nice crowd, really nice. It's really important having a good mixture of people.
The crowd was amazing.
Yeah, so to be fair, everyone does say the crowd is pretty good, and I don't know, maybe it's just European festivals, maybe it's Europeans in general, but they seem to be they seem to be more up for it. I feel like London festivals, the DJs really have to work hard to get the crowd going. They don't really come, or maybe because they're already steaming, they've already done too many fucking drugs at the Airbnb or at the hotel, and they're already fucking, already hanging. But I feel like when I've been to a European festival, I feel like people are ready to have fun. They've gone there and they're really ready to kind of give it their all and leave it all on the fucking dance floor, which is great. As a performer, it must be really cool to feel that energy and see people that are really receptive to, shaking their fucking moneymaker. Many whites, isn't it? Many whites. Not that it matters, by the way, not that it matters. I know I always point this out. Many Caucasians, but because I'm usually out and usually fucked when I'm outside and don't really pay attention to people, I don't really notice it. But when you watch videos of like club nights and festivals, you realize, rah, man, this scene I'm in, there's a lot of white people in it. This scene I'm a part of, it's very dominated by whites, isn't it? It's no surprise that these guys get annoyed and pissed off when you play as a black and you maybe insert a couple of like, some rap edits of like techno, just some techno edits or rap tunes and shit. They get offended, or if you play a pop track with a bit of a chorus, they get fucking annoyed. No wonder, innit? Because it's typically only a certain type of sound and look that they are mostly used to. So that's why I actually pull up to fucking Freddie K Fold wearing all white or all red or something and just kind of break up the fucking monotony that we see here. But yeah, what can you do? Oh, I see. Oh, that's good. That was the most diversity I've seen so far. I saw a couple of black girls. I saw a black boy there. That was pretty nice. Well done to Stone Techno Festival for, sprinkling in some minorities there. Well gone to my minorities. The less said about Lawcroft, the better. Don't want to be rude, so let's continue.
Unity like never before. The energy rise so high when I came.
Yo, big up Dasha Rush, legend.
Crazy. The feedback was really nice and they were screaming. I loved it.
The energy is wild like last year, but I think the weather definitely kicks it up a notch. We have crazy artists.
That's the whitest thing. I'm never going in a fucking swimming pool with techno people. Could you imagine the ket farts, the coke pisses, the MDMA saliva in there? Oh, that looks like the pool at Kit Kat. If you've been to Kit Kat in Berlin, you know Wagwan. If you've ever been to Kit Kat in Berlin, you know about that pool. You know how rancid that pool is. That looks like the pool at fucking Kit Kat or the pool at Shoreditch House. If you know, you know. Ugh, I'm never going in there. Never. Never. Some people are wearing their literal. Is she wearing like a bra or like is that a bikini top? I'd imagine there'd be people there that probably don't even bring their bathing suits and just wear their underwear. There'll be some ratchet people there just wearing their underwear. That's the type of whites that there are. Just be some girl into her lingerie just swimming in this pool. It's like, bro, why are you in here in your lace lingerie? There'll be a guy swimming there in these fucking Calvin Kleins. No, thank you.
We have crazy artists playing today as well. Lots of my friends are playing, so it's like a family reunion, so it feels very wholesome at the same time.
And we went crazy.
This location.
I think I might have to do a couple of push-ups as well now. I saw a couple of mandem with some crazy defined chesters. That's actually funny, by the way, when I found out that a lot of people in techno do steroids. I never knew this because I'd be going to Burger, and I remember going to Burger, especially the last few times when it reopened after the pandemic. I remember it kind of hit me for the first time. I was like, God damn it. There's a lot of like really buff dudes in here. Like when I mean buff, I mean like your Romero buff, like, and they're white. because that's really odd. You don't usually see Yoel Romero yoked looking white dudes, but they are wham, like legitimately like 3D bodies, like their chests are fucking look like they're built in fucking Roblox. And then somebody had to inform me, blood motherfucker, these guys aren't doing push-ups and eating fucking kale, they're doing roids. I was like, oh, that makes so much sense. Because like, how are these guys like, you know, doing all these drugs and drinking all the time and looking at the way they do? Like, it's impossible. How is that possible? How can you look this ripped and defined? I was like, oh yeah, it's the steroids. Naive Agosino strikes again.
Is outstanding.
The location is insane. I've never seen a location like this.
The venue is amazing. It breathes techno, you know.
Yeah, the place is amazing. And I'm really happy that we didn't get cancelled because of the rain.
The minute I arrived, it started raining. All right, everyone has to leave. Everything's cancelled.
Yeah, so this was the I guess this was the disappointing part of the festival. It rained really badly, flash rains or flash floods. And they had to cancel half of the day, I think. People were going crazy in the comments, like really leaving some bad replies. So I think this was one of the worst bits people said last year. So let's see how they handled it, actually.
And then the message slowly started to spread like, hey, we're gonna actually start up again. And seeing a wall of people run towards the stage, it's like an image that I'll probably never forget for the rest of my life.
And then the moment it restarted, it's like a triple excitement from everybody.
To be fair, that's the only place you could get away with this. European people don't give a fuck. Like, they should have never cancelled it. When it rains, people are going to be even more on it. Just make sure you get something to cover the decks, and people are going to rave in the rain. No one's going to go home. They're there to party. They're at a festival. They want to have a good time. Like, they should have just left it on anyway. I don't know why they decided to turn people away. That was a dumb decision. But regardless, it created a good moment for socials and shit. Good bit of video content. So big up big up Shades Cow in the chat. What's Shades Cow saying in the chat? Are these people cool? I don't know. I don't go to like parties. I don't know. Maybe, no, let's say I say the people at the fest, the people at these parties are probably cooler than the DJs. I think people get too enamored and too hell bent and attached to the idea of being friends with, which I never understood, by the way. I never understood the whole like DJ worship thing. I understand liking them as an artist, but some DJs, especially the ones that I've met unfortunately on socials or had my interactions with, most of them are cunts. I don't know why. It just, I don't know what there is. I don't know what the correlation is between being a DJ and being a cunt. Maybe it's because it's such an easy profession, similar to like stand-up comedy. A lot of them kind of think way too much of themselves, so sometimes it's better to just kind of look at them as an artist, look at them as a DJ, but then go to the party for the people, because the people that you meet at festivals and shit, you meet at parties legitimately, and not to be like, you know, soapy and shit, but you can meet some legit friends for life. You can meet some people that you will eventually travel the world with, start businesses with, start families with, live with and shit. Like, you can meet some actually legends of people from all around the world at these places. If you're just in it for the music, in it for the vibes, you're not trying to be involved and try and be a scene hopper, ladder climber and shit. You're just in it just to kind of hang out and have a good time, because I've always said, like, one of the things that I love about being into this sort of scene and shit is that as an adult, it's fairly difficult to meet new people and make new friends. So club nights, although it's very destructive, although it's very distracting, although it can be a little bit self-indulgent, what you do find is that you can sometimes have the ability to connect and meet people that you might end up being friends with. And it's rare that happens in your adult age. Usually you're kind of locked in with your family, you're locked in with your friends, you got your work, you might be busy, there's no time to socialize. So clubbing, especially with me DJing as I do sometimes, gives you the ability to meet loads of different people, and sometimes those people can go on to be lifelong friends. So if you go to the party for the people, you'll find loads of cool people. If you go to the party to be friends with DJs, you might find a lot of cunts. But all in all, I think you'll have a good time when you go to these places. I think you'll have a good time. I think it's good to kind of just to see Wagwan, really, the vibe and shit, especially some of these electronic music festival things. They're not the best places to enjoy the music. Maybe you should go to clubs, but I feel like if you don't want to get fucked up and you don't want to go crazy with the drugs and a drink, maybe a good place to enjoy electronic music is a festival, because you get to kind of go in the daytime. You get to kind of find your corner and just enjoy the show, enjoy all the fucking displays and production that they go into doing and shit. It can be quite fun. I'm not going to lie. It can be really, really fun. So I recommend you check it out if you are that way inclined. I'm going to play a couple of clips actually from last year's that I've actually pulled some clips of DJs absolutely destroying it last year. One particular one I'm going to play is a clip featuring Rene at Stone Techno Festival last year. One of my favorite DJs, one of my favorite producers, an absolute legend, an absolute fucking wizard behind the fucking decks. He played there last year at Stone Techno Festival. It was streamed directly at this channel, on this channel, YouTube channel called ARTE Concert. I'm sure some of you guys know it. I think it's a German channel, or maybe it's a French, I'm not too sure. Regardless, they live streamed his set. He fucking destroyed, and this is a section that I really did enjoy, so I'm gonna play this for you. This is Rene last year at the Stone Techno Festival. Let's go. Give Stone Techno Festival credit for, I like how they don't try to replicate the club feel at the festival. It does still feel festivally, if that makes sense. I know it doesn't kind of maybe come across in what I'm saying, maybe if you see it more in the video, but sometimes some festivals I feel like try to replicate what a club looks like at a festival, where I feel like you should try to embrace the open air, unorthodox nature of a festival and try to make that shine. And you get a lot of it here, with a lot of the lights, with the back bit being open there and not being covered, with loads of the lights around this back of it, so it kind of lights up. You see a lot of quote unquote depth, as Brendan would say, in the back, all the LEDs around some of the fixtures and shit, the space around it. It fucking feels really cool, really airy, really light, loads of space. You can actually be at the front sweating your ass off, or you could be at the sides just chilling, smoking the doobie, watching Rene absolutely tear it apart. I love it. Hate on that, man. Absolutely incredible. Good little vibe there. Absolutely loved everything about that mix. Absolutely loved how much he was showing off there, mixing on 4 fucking turntables at the same time, absolutely destroying that little room there with his hypnotic, menacing, downright scary brand of techno. Absolutely fucking love that. And I'm going to play a last clip for you here, courtesy of last year's event, that features the one and only Anetha. And this is a good one because it shows you what it looks like in the daytime. This is Anetha playing last year at the Stone Techno Music Festival, so you get an idea of what it looks like in the daytime. It's a fucking great little vibe there, and she absolutely tears it apart as well in this particular section that I pulled from the mix that she did, live streamed directly on ARTE channel, that you can find it on the ARTE concert channel on YouTube. Find the whole thing on there, but she tore it up as well, so big up Anetha as well. Great to see. Absolutely great. This is a little detail that I like. I'm not the biggest fan of like DJ booth culture and it turning into the new de facto VIP spots, but if you're gonna try and push that whole thing of everyone standing behind a DJ and wanting to feel like they're part of the set and make it into the VIP place and the cool place to be and shit, you still need to give the DJ, the person that's performing, space to perform. You need to give them respect to have their room to do their thing without everybody being on top of them. So I like what they did at that Stone Music Festival. They've got this kind of fence basically, right? They've got a fence around the DJ where you can obviously stand and see what they're doing right there. You can still be in that space behind the booth where you feel a little important, but the DJ has all this space to move around and not be encumbered by people and their bags and their fucking hugs and their air kisses and them stealing drinks from their rider and shit. This is all reserved for them and their friends in this particular area. I guess maybe this person, Anetha, knows or something, but I like how this complete space is dedicated only to the people performing. That's actually good. So you got the best of both worlds. You got people here trying to act all like they're involved, and you got the DJ here with all the space that they need to do what they need to do. So big up Stone Techno Festival for implementing such an easy solution there. Got Coil in the chat. Let that track go, you little freak. Exactly. It honestly must be such a pleasure, honestly. One of the probably amazing things about being a professional DJ, apart from the, the non-stop lifestyle of being around, traveling around the world, playing music and stuff in all these beautiful locations and different clubs and festivals around the world and shit, and catching with all your fans, must be the fact that you get to play on equipment that works. It must be such a pleasure, right? Because I'm so used to legitimately, whenever I play in these shitty little venues that I play at, sometimes the entire mixer doesn't work. Maybe one channel works on the mixer. Maybe the fucking pitch control on one deck doesn't work. Maybe one deck doesn't take USB. So you have to just like try and play it all from one turn to like it. Honestly, there's never been a time where I've played in a bar or a club where there hasn't been some sort of weird issue with the equipment. But it must be so nice to play at a festival and have, like, I wouldn't say brand new equipment, but equipment that just works. You can just plug and play and just slap it on and just keep going, as opposed to like having to figure out how you're going to make an adjustment to make the fact that this particular deck, the CDJ option doesn't work well, so you have to choose. It's like, oh yeah. That must be such a fucking pleasure, such a fucking good place to be, where you roll up, the equipment's already set up for you, you don't have to set it all up yourself, and it all fucking works. What an absolute pleasure. So big up Stone Techno Festival. Tickets still available now. Check them out if you're that way inclined. I think they're still available anyway, if I'm not mistaken. They did mention they were available. Let me actually see. I think they're still available on RA. But if you check RA, I'm sure you'll be able to find festival tickets for them still. It's pretty well priced last time I checked, considering it's for 3 days, Friday to Sunday. A pretty decent lineup of people performing and shit. So it's actually pretty nice. Actually, tickets are not on RA. Tickets are on another website. What's the tickets website? Oh, it's actually on their own dedicated website. They don't actually have their tickets hosted on RA for once. Usually everybody has their tickets hosted on RA, especially festival ones, but I guess they want to do things a bit different. They've got the lineup obviously on RA if you want to check that out. The lineup is available on RA. Some of the dates are already sold out, as you can see there, but you got a lineup breakdown over there on what RA is saying. Blah blah blah. But they've actually got the tickets only available on their own dedicated website. So let's see what their prices are saying here. Let's click accept. I bet they've only got a few of them left, but to be fair anyway, lots of these festivals, doesn't matter how, if you want to go, if there's a will, there's a way. You'll be able to find tickets on like third-party resale sites and shit, such as Ticket Swap. They're always going to have people that, cancelled lastminute.com, so don't stress. If you can't find a ticket, you're able to find it for resale. But full weekend, that's a pretty good deal, I'm not going to lie. For Friday, Saturday, Sunday, €160 is pretty decent, especially considering Essen isn't Berlin, so it's way cheaper as well. So like, drinks and shit, and I'm assuming everything else, all the adult treats also be maybe a little bit more cost effective. So €160 isn't too bad, to be fair, for 3 days of techno festivals, and then €70 each for the day passes and shit. Friday day pass, Sunday day pass, blah 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 blah. They've also got a shuttle service you can use as well, so pretty decent. I actually like the fact that it's not camping as well. It's actually just a festival in a place. So you go for the day, you leave, go home. But I guess people are saying that the only bad thing is that there's not a lot of good after parties. But I don't know about you, but I think, maybe it's a good thing there's no after parties. You get a chance to kind of wind down and then come back the next day, because it does start quite early. It starts at 1 p.m. You know what I mean? So after you've finished and wind down and shit, by the time you get home, it's probably going to be 4. By the time you actually get to bed, you might actually only get to bed at 9. So it's actually a good thing that there's no after party, so you get a chance to relax and recharge your batteries and hit the town again once everything gets started again. So big up Stone Techno Festival. It looks fucking fun. Hopefully one day I shall go. Moving on. Talking about music things. Diplo, unfortunately, did a big oopsie doopsie, but I'm not too sure if this actually matters, because I feel like every other day, every other week, every other month, every other year, there's a story about Diplo being a creep, and nothing really happens, to be honest. He seems to be impervious. He seems to be impenetrable. He seems to be the actual Teflon Don when it comes to accusations of being, a little bit of a creepo, a little bit of a diddler, allegedly. There was actually a story, or I did see pictures of him actually in Jamaica. That's actually funny. So allegedly he was accused of some other shit. Maybe a black girl, I think, accused him of rape or something, and he moved to Jamaica, right? Natural territory. Whenever you get accused of something, move to the Caribbean, and then have access to more black women, which is fucking wild. But regardless, this is a new article and a new allegations here, courtesy of the New York Times. It says Diplo, DJ, music producer, is being accused in a lawsuit of revenge porn. So let's read what it says here. Diplo, the Grammy-winning electronic dance music DJ and producer, was accused in a new lawsuit filed on Thursday of sharing explicit sexual images and videos of a woman without her consent. I guess that counts as revenge porn, right? That's what revenge porn is basically. The woman who filed the lawsuit anonymously said in a court filing that she had a 7-year intimate relationship with Diplo, whose real name is Thomas Wesley Pence. His name is Thomas Wesley Pence. Is that his name? Right. No wonder he called himself Diplo. He's got the most, no one say normie, but that's not the most, that's not a blockbuster name, is it? No wonder he called himself Diplo. Thomas Wesley Pence. I never knew that. During which he recorded them having sex and later distributed those images against her wishes. So this is his ex-girlfriend. He's out here sharing. It's one thing sharing images and videos of yourself fucking randoms, which is also bad because it's not, if you don't have their permission, don't share anything of somebody without their permission, full stop. But surely sharing videos and clips of yourself fucking your actual missus is wild, isn't it? It kind of reminds me of that person that we all know. There's always that person in your friendship group who like will talk very graphically and in detail about what they get up to with their wife to you and try and like brag about it. Oh yeah, she was like sucking me up to. It's like, bro, isn't that your like wife? Why are you telling us for? Like, I know this woman. She's kind of like my friend also. Like, why are you telling me? I mean, so he's probably one of those type of weirdos that will try and, you know, like give you extra details of what, like, shut up, man. That's your mother of your children. Like, relax, man. I don't want to hear this. Maybe it's fun if I hear it about you with some prosy or something, but not somebody that you count as a girlfriend, as a fiance and shit, as a wife. Like, god damn it. Have some level of privacy, decency, something. Throughout their relationship, which started in 2016, the woman sometimes gave him permission to record them having sex, which is normal in a relationship, fair enough. But told him that she did not want him to share the videos with others. But he did. Last November, the lawsuit said the woman was contacted by someone who said that she was in possession of images and videos of women having sex with Diplo, and that Diplo had sent her sexually explicit materials on a social. Diplo is sending videos of himself fucking his ex-girlfriend to randoms on Snapchat. The lawsuit said the woman reported the distribution of the materials to the police in Brooklyn, where she lives. Okay, credit to this woman though. Credit to this lady who was basically talking to Diplo. Diplo was probably trying to rizz her up. And as men do sometimes, she thought it would be like a good option to send her videos of himself fucking strangers that she would get excited, which they don't usually do, to be fair. That's one of the things that I think guys always miscalculate. It's almost like dick pics. Guys always think like women want to see dick pics, but actually dick pics aren't really... They don't seem to do anything for women the same way maybe boobs do something really incredible for guys' imaginations and shit. But I think the same thing with random videos of you fucking around. It's like, wow, why would you send me this? I think most sensible girls, if you sent them a video of yourself fucking one of your ex-girlfriends, they're going to be concerned that you might do the same thing to them. That might be an instant red flag. They might just run away completely off the strength of just that. Like, what? You're sending me a video of you doing what? With who? This is your ex. Okay, bye. You know, like, so it's not going to work how you think it's going to work. It's not going to, this isn't porn. You know? It's not going to turn them on at all. They're going to run a mile, rightfully so. The New York Police Department said in a statement that detectives were investigating a complaint for unlawful dissemination against a man named Thomas Pence. A lawyer for Diplo, Brian Friedman, said in a statement that his client had been subjected to the past lawsuit and he described as bogus. So he's saying it's not a thing. What's his defense then? That she's making it up. She's trying to get some money from him. I'd like to hear the defense about this because this seems kind of black and white, innit? I'm your girlfriend. We used to have a relationship. We're now not dating anymore. But I'm finding out through other women that you're sending videos and pictures of me fucking you to them. That's pretty black and white case. I wonder what his defense is. It continues. Time and time again, Wes has been targeted by a group of untrustworthy individuals and their unscrupulous lawyers, cobbing together falsehoods in search of meritless payday. The suit seems to just be more of the same, which is why we have no reason to believe that this will end in any differently than the others. Okay, so there's been other lawsuits that he's allegedly won. So he's confident that this is not anything. I'll be interested to see what the... I guess you're innocent until proven guilty, but I'll be interested to see what their evidence is to say that this is all bogus. The lawsuit filed in federal court in California cites a federal law that prohibits the disclosure of intimate images of a person without individual's consent and a state revenge pornography law. Diplo was locked into a complex year-long legal dispute with another woman, Shelley August. Oh, bloody hell, Shelley August. Well, hello.
who accused him in a lawsuit of sexually assaulting her and posting a sexually explicit image of her on social media through an anonymous Twitter account. In court documents, Diplo vehemently denied the accusations and called the Miss August a scammer who entered into his life to try and get money from him. He filed a lawsuit accusing her of stalking him and distributing sexually explicit photos and videos of him, which she denied in court papers. Why does Diplo always seem to be in a position where people are trying to scam him for these type of things? Is he actually guilty? Is he just a good guy that's meeting evil women? Or is he actually Harvey Weinstein in disguise? Because I don't know, man. This is sounding like the guy might be a bit of a piece of shit. Maybe. You know, maybe this guy might be a piece of shit if he continually finds himself in situations where he's disseminating images of people that he was once involved with against their wishes, and he's locked in legal disputes with these people. I don't know. This seems like somebody that might not be the bestest of guys. Just throwing it out there. I've been forced to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars against her bogus allegations, he said in a court filing, noting that the arbitrator had heard their claims and issued a monetary award in Diplo's favor. Really? That's an interesting thing. So Diplo got rewarded damages of some extent, payment, for this lawsuit against this Shelly August person. Diplo, a prolific producer, has collaborated with major pop stars such as Madonna, Beyonce, and Justin Bieber. What does this Shelly Augusty woman look like, actually? Is this a black lady? Because he seems to have sometimes some things for black women. Is he sullying the reputation of black ladies? Yeah, there is a black, that's her, right? I'm assuming. Maybe, it might be her, I'm not too sure. I just typed, yeah, that is her, Diplo's accuser. Bloody hell, mate. But he keeps getting away with it, so I don't know what's happening. Is he actually guilty? Is he not guilty? I don't know. I'm not really too sure, man. I'm really not too sure. Yeah, exactly. Big up Don Dotto. Diplo's got too many girl fans that don't give a fuck. Yeah, for sure. And I'm assuming a lot of them will happily take being sexually assaulted by him. A lot of them probably might see it as a kink. Do you know what I mean? A lot of these guys and girls think he's very attractive, so I'm sure he's okay with that regard. But no one seems to care, really. It doesn't seem to go anywhere. I've honestly felt like I've seen an article or an accusation about Diplo forever, probably the same time as Tim Westwood, and nothing really seems to stick with him. So maybe he's not guilty, maybe he's just Teflon, maybe it's just dance music shit. I'm not really too sure, but it seems like an odd one. I'm not too sure what to make of it. I'm not too sure what to make of it, but regardless, he's been accused of being a sharer of revenge porn and people are coming after him, so I guess he's going to have to handle that the way he's going to have to handle it. Let's see if he does handle it. Moving on, we got some other news here courtesy of Shawn Stussy, the original founder and creator of Stussy. He left the brand, I think in the 80s or maybe the 90s. I forgot exactly when it was, when he sold it and went on to do other things. But now he's deciding that he wants to make a comeback. Shawn Stussy got on his Instagram and decided he wanted to make a comeback and announce it to the world. He wrote a caption on his Instagram that says as follows: a young horse is fast, but the old horse knows what's going on. The young horse may win the race, but the old horse stay out so long. Mr. Muddy Waters, Young Fashion Ways. Update. Just read some comments and need to be clear. It is not my birthday. That day is another month or so, but thank you in advance for the cheers and respect. So allegedly, this particular announcement is to do with him coming back to streetwear. He's making another mark at it. I feel like Shawn Stussy has done this like 17 times in the last few years. He tried to make a comeback. I forgot the name of the brand that he did some footwear. He had a brand for a short while that didn't really go anywhere, but he's been trying to make a comeback in streetwear for a while. He seems to be a bit confused though. One minute he's trashing streetwear and saying it's dead and it's boring and no one should care about it. The next minute he's trying to get back involved, but maybe deep down he probably regrets selling Stussy, especially considering what it's become now. The fact that they've been able to steer the ship and shit and get it back to where it's needed to be. The creative director that does all the shit for Stussy now is fucking smashing it. The styling, the offerings that they have, the accessories, the collaborations are also always tastefully done. They absolutely smash it. So maybe he's feeling a little bit left out, but I think Shawn Stussy should hang it up. I think his time has been and gone, And I think, unfortunately, because he spent so much time away, he's probably not sharp as he probably once was, even though he's an originator in the same sense as like a James Jebbia with Supreme. But James Jebbia has always stayed involved, and judging by what we've heard from Tremaine and his struggles at Supreme, James Jebbia is very much involved still in the daily running of Supreme. He has his firm grip on what goes out in terms of Supreme and what we see, which is probably the reason why it's been able to maintain and be so consistent and be somewhat relevant and still not be quote unquote over, because the founder, the originator of that brand, is still very much in control. So I feel like because he's been in control, because he's still sharp, because he's still there, he's still on the front line doing what he's doing season in, season out. And you have to imagine James Jebbia essentially nowadays is competing with the likes of Hellstar. He's competing with all these young bucks, right, who are chalking away and clawing away at his customer base and taking, you know, food or taking customers away from his fucking brand and shit. So he's having to stay sharp and compete with these newer brands that are springing up all over the place across Instagram and other social media platforms. So that helps for you to kind of keep sharp and keep putting out sick stuff. Shawn Stussy hasn't been around in ages. And I feel like he's just spent too much time on the sidelines to actually make anything meaningful that anybody would want. Because number one, unfortunately for him, look at this picture. It's not exactly the coolest thing you've seen in the world, right? I don't know if he put this on a timer, if he got his daughter to take the picture for him, but he's in his garden somewhere in this amazing house. Looks like, you know, a lot of space and shit. He's probably got a lot of money from selling Stussy and all the other businesses that he's got on the side. But he's trying to make this, you know, declaration by walking towards the camera like he's back, like he's walking back in the ring. But he just looks like an old man. Because he is an old man. He looks very dusted. He's got his shirt tucked into his trousers. He doesn't look really cool. His wallabies, whatever he's wearing, look like they've been worn into the ground. I don't think there's anything that this man would create that I would want, you know, unfortunately. I don't think he's got any real taste, insight, new perspective on a new bomber jacket, on a jumper, on a sweatshirt, on a pair of jeans, on a hat, on some glasses, on some sneakers I would ever want to wear. That's the main issue. So this is so unfortunately dead, dry and lame that it's not making me have any type of enthusiasm for his comeback. And I feel like at this point he should just hang it up, and if anything, maybe be an advisor, consultant to some of these younger brands coming up, maybe act as a mentor to them and try and guide them in the ways, and maybe advise them maybe not to sell their own brand and whatever it may be. But him coming back and trying to compete with all these younger brands that are doing things, I don't think it's going to end well for him. He needs to kind of hang it up. If that's the case, again, it could be something else, who knows, but judging by the comments in the chat or in the comments in his comment section, you're my hero, Shawn Stussy just says keep surfing. Paul Mitterman is there giving him a glass emoji. Stay Grounded is giving him the goat emoji. Everyone's basically welcoming him back, but I don't think this is going to end well if he tries to come back. It might be terrible. He might not be the same guy that we all fell in love with when he originally created Stussy in the first place, and maybe he's regretting selling it. But I think his time has been and gone. I think his time has been and gone, but I could be wrong. I really, really could be wrong. Talking about people's time not being been and gone, have you guys seen M.I.A.'s new merch? Have you guys seen M.I.A.'s fashion collection? It's fucking cool. I'm not gonna lie, it's actually pretty cool. It's a bit nutty, of course, but it's really fucking cool. This is courtesy of dailydot.com. M.I.A. drops conspiracy-tinged streetwear line, including a 5G blocking tinfoil bucket hat. You hear that? She's made a fucking tinfoil hat. It's so fucking cool. Big up M.I.A. What an absolute G. So this is courtesy of the Daily Dot. Rapper M.I.A. is launching a streetwear line to help protect against Wi-Fi, 4G and 5G from reaching your brain. M.I.A. unveiled the line in a series of TikToks yesterday. What's it called? The Omni line, I guess it's Omni, includes $100 shiny silver bucket hat marketed to highlight its unique atomic structures, which gives the electromagnetic wave deflecting powers, a $200 data protection dump bag, which includes a built-in Faraday cage. How cool is that? To block all data and Wi-Fi connections, and a $50 pair of boxer shorts made from original Silver Street Shield textiles, providing protection to the numerous risks linked with electromagnetic radiation, all promising to restore people's autonomy and freedom. I think this is fucking cool, honestly. And if you go on the website, Here's the information about the brand and shit. It says here, in a time of smart cities, digital crypto, AI, Neuralink, hackable humans, zero privacy, deep mind, internal body data harvesting, indiscriminate tracking surveillance, mind data mining, social media overload, augmented reality, social credit system, virtual dystopian minefield, we bring you the revolutionary future of fashion. Omni is the last frontier of preserving your privacy, autonomy, and rights over your body and your data. This is not your artist foray into fashion. This is a necessity. The armor of the modern knight in the age of the modern technological warfare. Yo, I want to wear this shit. The armor of the modern knight in the age of the modern technological warfare. Look at this gobbledygook. I want to wear this shit. You might think of the war zone as a far away from where you are. Yet in 2024, even your house is a digital battlefield. She's so full of shit. What? Your house is a digital battlefield. You're warring against your remote control. You're beefing your printer. Your fucking your microwave is an op. What? Omni is designed to be protective, preventative, and precious. Future backwards is are you tough? Future backwards is are you tough? Okay. If the conspiracy theorists are wrong, good for you. You own a beautiful clothes that made with pure silver and precious metals. But if they are right, you just might have saved the future of humanity. Welcome to Omni. I could be a genius. I could be a cheat. Okay. Let's see the actual collection itself. Go on the website. Let's see what they got here available. Let's go to the shop. Let's look at the products, what they have available here. So here's the bucket hat, all right? The silver bucket hat, the tinfoil hat. It's fucking incredible, by the way. Big up fucking M.I.A. Here's the tinfoil hat for $100. The item ships in 1 week, nearly, still in stock, by the way. Nothing is sold out, it looks like. Everything is still in stock. So big up the fucking bucket hat vibes there. Well, can we see some more images of the bucket hat or not? There we go. More images of the bucket. Can we see more images or not? I don't think we can. No more images of the bucket hat. Cool. Okay. Maybe not. The bucket hat's $100. We got that there. We've got a full sleeve graphic armor tee for $200. It's not cheap, by the way, to be, to prevent you to kind of war with your electronics and shit. You got a silver stealth hat. That's $100. T-shirts, $100. Everything's $200 to $100. She's not running a charity, that's for sure. Full shield reversible tee, $200. Full shield reversible armor tee again, $200. The bag is probably the best thing, right? This dump bag and this chrome anti-trace phone case is pretty cool. These are probably the best things in the entire collection. The bag and that phone case. But that bag is tough. I'd actually wear this bag. The bag is quite hard. This data protection bag features a glistening chrome silver shell, 100% pure copper lining, removable shoulder strap, and multiple inner and outer compartments. With its unique autonomic structure, copper offers exceptional electronic conductivity, deflecting electromagnetic waves such as Wi-Fi 3G, 99% shielding effectiveness, made of our original Silver Street textiles. So that's your Faraday cage there in a backpack, in a little bag, right? A little Marc Jacobs looking tote bag that also doubles up as a Faraday cage. Pretty cool. I'm not really mad at that. I'm not going to lie. I'm not mad at it in the slightest. I kind of like it. I'd actually would wear that. There's M.I.A. there with the bag itself next to some roses. Looking cute. Cool. Another angle of the bag and another angle of the bag. Not too bad. I actually wouldn't mind the bag. I actually wouldn't mind it. It's actually kind of nutty, but I don't mind that she's dabbling into her conspiracy theory shit and getting into all this stuff that she clearly is interested in. Like, big up her. She clearly loves all this shit and she's making merch based on this stuff instead of just like collaborating on some other nonsense fast fashion shit. It's a bit loopy. It's a bit unnecessary. It's pretty overpriced given what it is, but I don't mind it. I honestly don't mind it. She's even got silver trousers here. Full shield armor trousers. Potency jeans. Pretty insane what she's got here offering. What's the underwear? Protective boxer shorts, $50. How the boxer shorts protect you, by the way? how do boxer shorts protect you? What do the boxer shorts have? Do they have like built-in condoms or something? Well, I'll go on for this. These loose-fitting potency boxer shorts are made using a luxurious silky 4-way stretch fabric containing 80% pure silver to protect you and your future generations. I'm not too sure if, you know, putting silver on your nuts is a good idea. I don't know. It feels like that's going to be the opposite of protecting you. No? With its unique autonomic structure, silver offers exceptional... Why do you want to have electronic, conductivity use on your boxers, though, next to your nuts? Why would you want that? I'm curious to know why people would want their nuts to deflect 3G waves or 4G waves. Like, why go on for this? But yeah, $50, by the way, for one pair of boxers. She's not running no charity. She's not doing this shit out of the goodness of her heart, that's for sure. M.I.A. wants to make some money. Okay, fair play. We got some t-shirts there, Luxe bottoms. Bottoms are pretty nice, the sweat bottoms, but $250 bottoms is crazy. So the tracksuit is $500. Fucking hell. She's not playing. Protective wrist pouch is pretty nice. I don't mind the little waist bag, that's pretty cool. $100 is a bit expensive. Protective leggings, $200. Oof, it's not cheap, man. It's not fucking cheap. She definitely is trying to make a buck here, but again, I don't mind it because it's definitely shit that she's spoken about ad nauseum, and I'd like to see that she's got it and what she's got going on. Actually, considering Terrence Howard was recently on Rogan, I would actually like to see... I'd prefer to see M.I.A. sit down with Terrence Howard than see Terrence Howard try to prove that he's not a psycho by sitting down with Eric Weinstein, because we know he's crazy, right? That Eric Weinstein video, or that Eric Weinstein episode where he's debunking all of Terrence Howard, you know, loopy mathematics and shit and scientific, you know, discoveries, is a bit of a, you know, it's a bit lame, really. I kind of know that he's insane. That's why we fucking love and enjoy him. I'd actually prefer to see him sit down maybe with M.I.A. That actually might be a really good conversation. You know, that actually might be mind expanding, especially when she talks about record labels and all the stuff that they've done to her over the years. I actually would love to see that. She was on Timple recently, actually. Really, I actually enjoyed that. She was on Timple recently, weirdly enough, M.I.A. Kind of a cool interview. Timple came across a really corny, as did the other guests and shit. But she seems to tune into and like to watch Timple. I wonder if she watches Rogan. I actually would love to see her on Rogan. I'm not going to lie. I really would. But big up M.I.A. If you want to check it out, the website is ohmini.com. It's Omni, I think that's how you pronounce it. Really cool shit. I actually wouldn't mind wearing some of it, but some of it is a little bit overpriced for me personally. But I don't mind seeing what she put out there. I really don't mind seeing what she put out there. So big up the one and only M.I.A. Anyways, my friends, that has been it. That is the Agostino Zinga Show episode number, I think it's 795. I think it might be 795. If it's not 795, it doesn't really matter what episode it is. Thank you for tuning in anyway. It's been a pleasure, never ever a chore to have your company. Thank you for tuning in. If you're listening or watching this live, thank you for tuning in. You shall see this be re-uploaded and clipped up and shit on the channel soon. So keep an eye out for that coming at you very, very soon. For those of you listening to the podcast channel or listen to this on the podcast app, please make sure that you like this. That'll be greatly appreciated. Go on all your podcast apps and give me a nice little smash and a like, and let me know that you've enjoyed it, and give me a fucking 5-star review on all the platforms that you use. That would be greatly appreciated. If you could do that, I would absolutely love to see that. That would be much appreciated. And today I'm going to leave you with my tune of the day. I'm going to leave you with my tune of the day, and it's an odd one. I know some of you won't expect me to play this, but my tune of the day for today is going to be G-Eazy. G-Eazy's got a new album out at the moment. It's called Freak Show. The album cover's a bit lame. The album cover's a bit corny, right? Don't look at the album cover. It doesn't really describe what you're about to listen to. But he's got a new album out. It's pretty decent. I've listened to it in full. I don't mind it. I think G-Eazy can be very corny, can be very lame, can be very yucky. I get it. But this particular album is pretty decent. 13 songs. It's only 37 minutes or so long, so it's not a long listen, fairly digestible, very introspective, loads of cool little sounds on there, loads of nice little hits that you might be a fan of, and actually a decent album, all things considered. So I'm gonna play for you a track on here that I actually like the best of, and that might be, actually, let me play Backseat. Let me not play Lancey Foe's one, that's a bait one. Let's play Backseat, courtesy of G-Eazy, off his new album called Freak Show. It just got released recently. Track 7 on your new album. I personally don't mind it. I know some of you are going to be grossed out by seeing G-Eazy, but I actually don't mind him. So big up G-Eazy. Tune of the day is Backseat, courtesy of his new album called Freak Show. Thank you for tuning into the Axiom Zinger Show, and I'll see you guys again very, very soon. Peace out.